today we're going to be ranking all of the characters that are attack type in Shinobi Striker. So let's get started with it. First up we have Boruto. So now Boruto is an S tier.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
I'm just kidding. Boruto's more like a C tier. He has a pretty good ultimate, but his other two jutsus bring him down. Vanishing Rasengan is decent, but Tornado High is way too hard to hit. Like, it's like a 10% chance of hitting. It's very hard. Next up we have Rock Lee. Now Rock Lee, I'm gonna put him at A tier. He's borderline S tier. His two jutsus are pretty good. One is like the kick that puts you down, and one is Leaf Rising Wind. Leaf Rising Wind has been meta from the start of the game, so that's points for Rock Lee. And his ultimate is pretty good as well. The 7th gate, I think he opens all 7 gates. It's not as good as Guy's ultimate, but it's pretty good. Next up we have the one and only Naruto Uzumaki base. I'm gonna put him at B tier. So Naruto is the epitome of balanced in this game. So he has a jutsu called Rasengan. It's pretty good, has decent knockback. But I don't use it too much because I would use it for flag battle if it didn't like slow you down after you used it. Like, it doesn't go through opponents like Chidori, it just bounces you back afterwards. And Rasen Shuriken is pretty good as well. It counters the orbs, so that's 1 point. That's points for Rasen Shuriken, but the tracking is very iffy, so it's kind of hard to hit. But where he loses a lot of his points are his ultimate. So his ultimate is Odama Rasengan, and I have to say that I think it's the worst ultimate in the game. I don't think it's viable for anything other than barrier battle. It can do decent damage to the boss, but I think that's the only place I would ever use it. Next up we have Pain. So Pain would be A tier. He's borderline B tier. He would be B tier if he had a worse ultimate, but his ultimate is OP. So first, his two jutsus are the Universal Pull and Almighty Push. So Universal Pull is used like by a lot of people, but Almighty Push not so much. So Universal Pull pulls your opponents back like to where you're at. It's pretty good and it's easy to combo into. It's not like Sasuke's pull, because Sasuke's pull is a little harder to combo into, but Universal Pull doesn't damage them at all. Almighty Push goes great in unison with Universal Pull, but I do not think that it's super viable. The range is pretty short. It does guard break and break sand shield, so that's an added bonus, but I just don't use Almighty Push so much. His ultimate though I do use a lot. It's Planetary Devastation, so it's great for base battle. Pretty much any battle actually. It traps one of your opponents in Chibaku's Tensei. So during that time, anyone in the vicinity gets sucked up into the air, like all of your opponents, and they die as well once the Chibaku Tensei falls to the ground. It's a much better version of Heaven Concealed, if you ask me. Next we have Kakashi. So I'm gonna say that Kakashi's not as good as Rock Lee, but he is better than Pain. He has another Chidori, so that's Lightning Blade, but it's for attack type, so I guess you use it differently. Um, you can combo up Lightning Blade and Lariat for like an amazing flag battle build. He brings you the Sharingan, which is one of the most broken jutsu in Shinobi Striker. It's basically like a free sub. So basically you activate it before anyone hits you for like 7 seconds, I think. You're completely invincible, so anybody hits you, you automatically sub out of it. And whatever substitution effect you have on, that takes place. So I think that Sharingan brings Kakashi here. Kakashi's ultimate isn't that good either. It's decent for base battle, but I don't see using it anywhere else. It's Kamui. Next up, let's get started with the DLCs. Hashirama. He is better than Naruto, but I wouldn't say that he's better than Pain. So he's gonna have to go in B tier. His Wood Dragon Jutsu is really good. I use it a lot, to be honest, and I use his Laughing Buddha Jutsu as well in unison with Flying Raijin level 2. So those that's a pretty good combo for anyone looking for one. Um, his ultimate, I like it when the effect takes place, but it's very like slow to build up. So sometimes I just go through games without using it. That's why I don't use it too much. But overall, Hashirama is pretty balanced in this game. Nothing broken, nor does he have anything like very bad like Tornado High. Next we have Minato. So Hashirama and Minato came out at the same time. So I would say that Minato is borderline S tier, but he's better than Rock Lee, so I'm gonna put him in S tier for now. So Minato's two jutsus are like really viable in any game mode actually. So his first jutsu is Flying Raijin. So you can place a kunai down, and within 15 seconds you can like just teleport to where you place the kunai at any time. So I think that's a pretty good jutsu. And his second jutsu is Flying Raijin level 2. So that's a pretty good jutsu as well. You throw a kunai, and if the kunai hits the person, you teleport above them and you throw a Rasengan at them. So I find it very fun to use. And I usually use his Flying Raijin level 2 with the Paralysis Seal kunai. So it paralyzes them, and then it's easier to hit your kunai with the Flying Raijin level 2. His ultimate is a top ultimate for attack types. It's the Rasen Flash Howl Super Dance 3 something. It's really good. You throw a bunch of kunais, you teleport between the kunais, anyone in the way of like the 6 kunais, just die. Like, I think it's one shot, yeah. And yeah, Minato just uses a lot of kunais, to be honest. Then we have Killer B. Killer B. Yeah, I'm gonna put him above Pain. So Killer B, actually, you know what? I'm gonna bring Pain down here because I don't like Almighty push too much. So Killer B is a very good DLC. He brings you acrobatic technique. I personally don't use it too much, but I know a bunch of people who do. And they use it very well, to be honest. It's like a better version of the 8 trigram 64 palms, albeit it is a duplicate, so I'm not too fond of that. Then his other jutsu, Octopus Hug, is a broken jutsu. So many people use it, and it's really easy to combo into with a jutsu or just normal weapon combos. So I think that's a very good jutsu as well. His ultimate is 8-tailed chakra mode. It's kind of like Kurama Link mode. It's a little worse, but it's pretty good as well. So I gotta give it props for that. It heals you back to full, and it gives you like an attack buff, I think. Yeah, so that's pretty great if you ask me. Then we have Might Guy Rock Lee Sensei, so he has to go into S tier. Yeah. So Might Guy is very good in this game. Youthful Roar is pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's anything broken, but it paralyzes your opponent. I just wish if Youthful Roar like lowered their defense, then it would be like absolutely broken, and I would love it more than any other jutsu in the game. But it just like gives your opponents like a little shock so that you have like a bit of time to combo into, and it increases your hand-to-hand combat power and your teammates in the range as well, I think. Dynamic entry is pretty good as well. I wouldn't say it's broken, but I find it really fun to use. It's a taijutsu move just like Rock Lee's, but I think dynamic entry breaks the guards, and yeah, it's all around like a good jutsu. But what puts Might Guy above Rock Lee is his ultimate. 8 inner gates formation is amazing. It's the best ultimate in for attack types, no doubt. It heals you back to full, gives you a huge attack buff, and you activate the 8 inner gates, and then you have like 5 times to use Sekizo. And yeah, 5 Sekizos can one-shot a person, I'm pretty sure, and you also get a speed buff, I think. So, and at the end you can activate it for like this huge Night Guy dragon, and it just one-shots everyone in your path. Next we have Adult Naruto. He's the best DLC. So, Adult Naruto, he has Rasen Rampage and Kurama Twin Impact, 2 great jutsus that counter Sand Shield and Water Pillar. So I really love that. Then he gives you his ultimate Kurama Link mode. So it's a really good ultimate. It heals you back to full. It's worse than Guy's ultimate, but it's much better than any other ultimate in the game. Maybe I think it's on par with Minato's ultimate, to be honest. So it gives you like an attack buff. It heals you. It heals your teammates as well. So that's pretty good. It decreases your cooldown time, and it gives you a speed buff. Yeah, and he gives you the scientific ninja tool Rasengan, so actually that's pretty amazing. Actually I have a video coming out on the ranking of ninja tools, so if you wanna check that out like in the next few days, that's coming as well. Then we have Shisui. This is the last attack DLC we got so far. So he is an S tier. So why is Shisui an S tier? All of his jutsu are really good. They're not broken, but they're all really good. So his first jutsu is Oboroguruma, so that's really good. So many people main that jutsu. So it you throw down like a shuriken on the ground, and you can call the shuriken back to you at any time when you're getting comboed or any time, and it paralyzes your opponent, so that's really good. And it also gives you like a huge jumping buff and speed buff. His second jutsu is Uchiha style Halo Dance, so that's a really good jutsu as well. It's really beginner friendly. I don't use it too much, but I know a lot of people who do. Yeah, overall his 2 jutsus are really good, and they're extremely beginner friendly, and Oboroguruma is great for flag battle. His ult is another great one as well. It gives you and your teammates Sharingan for 15 seconds, and it's really good for flag battle, and you can activate the ultimate again to like put everyone else in a genjutsu for 15 seconds, I think. Yeah, it's very viable for flag battle or even combat, so yeah, that's it. This is the ranking and tier list of all of the characters in Naruto, the Boruto Shinobi Striker. this is the part 1 of a 4-part series. This is the attack part, so the range part is coming out in a few days, so might want to be on the lookout for that. So bye.